What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. But today we got another live pregame with Battle Birds podcast. Two of the three members, or as Philly Fresh would say, two of the four members, because the fourth one is y'all. We greatly appreciate all y'all tuning in. And yes, look, we are facing a team that hasn't won a game, and we cannot allow ourselves to be the first one on the menu for the Detroit Lions. Go ahead, Fresh, introduce yourself, and let's talk about this wild Sunday.
Yo, that man, you know what it is. You know what it is. Gate City will be here a little bit later, man. But like you said, man, full for the Battle Bird podcast. What's going on, y'all? Today is Halloween, and for Halloween, I need the Eagles to dress up as winners for their costume. That's what's going on today. That's what's going on today. I hope they dress up as winners, man. We're playing like my man just said, like Mike just said, man. We're playing a team that has 0 wins. I mean, we only have 2, but you got to beat this team. You got to beat this team. And what's crazy is we seen what they did last week. They came out swinging, and that's not our best attribute when it comes to that. Is when a team come out swinging, we can't counter. So that's the scary part. And also the other scary part is they got nothing to lose. I mean, we shouldn't either at this point when you look at it. But, you know, maybe you can get yourself on a win streak, and maybe, you know, you can find yourself in a winning record situation. But obviously it got to start now. You got to get some type of win. You got to get some type of motivation going on. So those guys, you know, they feel a little better dancing in the locker room, whatever the goofy stuff that they do. But you got to get this win, man. And to me, it shouldn't even be close. Like this is Sixers versus Cleveland. Like this is Sixers versus the Pistons, who they went down to the wire with. Oh my goodness, well, we're not going to talk about that. But this is one of them games to where as though it should be a blowout. And I don't care that people saying, well, Fresh, y'all only got 2 wins, y'all this and that. We got talent. We have the talent, and they should be put in a position to where as though we should be able to succeed. But I think our coaching, and we didn't do a post game, so we didn't really get into the fact. I know we did it on our separate channels, but we didn't get into the fact. I don't know what the hell Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon is doing. Not gonna lie to you. When you look at Jonathan Gannon, the situation is you let Derek Carr get into a freaking rhythm last week. You didn't send no pressure. You was already getting barbecue chicken. So why not just send some pressure anyway? You're already getting burnt in the middle of the field. Just send the pressure. You let this guy go for a league high NFL history. Second in the league in completion at 91.2. That's embarrassing. See, to me, it's okay to lose because we are in rebuilding. Mike, chat, it is okay to lose. But to get embarrassed, that's the problem that I'm having. And I had a conversation with a couple people about this, and they're like, oh, well, we're rebuilding, yada, but you can still have fight. That's what I'm pissed off about. It looks like there's no fight in this team, and that's coming from coaching. That's coming from all the coaches, not just Jonathan Gannon, Nick Siri. You know what I mean? There's no fight in this team, and it's starting to really piss me off because how in the hell you just don't get no pressure on Derek Carr, let him sit back there, be able to text his mom, text his girl, and all type of stuff. He can do anything he want and then throw the football. He just had all type of time. I get what Fletcher Cox was saying. I don't think he should have said it the way that he said it. Talking about he don't get paid to cover screens or whatever the case may be. Well, you getting paid to do nothing right now because you're not getting no sacks.
Yeah.
So I got a problem with a lot that's going on with this team, but a win can make me fall back a little bit. A dominant win, I would like that. But I mean, I guess I'm wishing on a star, whatever the case may be. But I think that it can happen. You have to go out there and punch this team in the mouth because that's what they're going to try to do to you. They came out with Swift, 60-yard touchdown from the rip on LA. Onside kick, which they recovered and we didn't.
Yeah, a lot of trick plays, and that's what you get from a desperate team. Trick plays, and although we not as desperate when it looks at the record, culture wise, it looks like the Lions are feeling themselves. I had a Lions content creator on the channel, and I just look at the general consensus of Lions Twitter, their bloggers, and this, that, and the third. They like what their coaching staff is providing. They feel that they need talent, right? They feel that Dan Campbell, although he's a little kooky, crazy, he brings somewhat of an excitement to them. They're not as big on Anthony. Anthony, who's the offensive coordinator for the Lions? He used to be the head coach for the Chargers.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Chat will let me know. But they're big on their defensive coordinator. They're about getting talent to surround their coaching staff so they can put them in better position. But as the Eagle fans, we're looking at our coaching staff like, what are you doing? You come out and you execute a perfect game plan against the Raiders for the first drive, and you totally abandon it. There's just no rhyme or rhythm to this team, and that's why it's hard to predict what you're going to see. Anthony Lynn.
Shout out to the chat.
Yes. They're not the highest or the lowest on him. He's been a guy who's been around the league, but at least he has some type of backbone, being a head coach and whatnot. And I think they like their staff in general. And if you look at their 0-7 schedule, right? They took Baltimore Ravens to the brink. If it wasn't for a record-setting kick, I mean, Justin Tucker broke the record to beat the Lions. They took the Rams all the way down to the wire, although they were playing desperate and converting on a lot of trick plays. They played the Niners tough on a comeback, and they also lost another game, the Vikings game. So they lost a lot of games by the skin of their teeth, and these are respectable teams. The Vikings turn it around, Ravens are the Ravens, and the Rams are the Rams. Our 2 wins are our 2 wins, but now Panthers looking extra soft, getting beat up by the Giants 25-3, getting Sam Darnold bench. The Falcons can only beat the two New York teams and the Dolphins. So, as much as we want to blow this team out, I just got to know, are we better than the Lions? And I do believe the people we putting on the field are better than them, but I don't know if we have the guys who can lead the people who are better than them on the field. And that's why I think coaching staff, this is a game where you have to try to turn things around. You know, the last couple of weeks I've been seeing the front office in a different eyes. I mean, I always looked at Howie a certain way, but now really looking at everything from Howie to Jeffrey to the coaching staff. It's like, how do we dig ourselves out? Because even if we're winning games, but not agreeing how we win them, if this staff continues to get the next quarterback, if there's a quarterback change, or the next young players that we draft, or this, that, and the third, do we really believe the staff can take it anywhere but mediocrity?
Oh man, Mike, you had a lot of good points. When you look at the situation, and I'm talking about the Lions real fast. All those games that you brought up, what did I just say? This team doesn't have is fight. And yeah, you might get it in the fourth quarter, but I don't see it. First of all, we're last in the league in scoring in the second quarter. That's horrible. We scored like 7 points in the second quarter all year. Like, there's no adjustments that are being made. Nick Sirianni first drive was so magnificent. I'm not even going to hold you. That was the best drive of the whole year. You go down, you score 7. It's looking, you got the fans hype. Yeah, this is what we came for. This is what you're supposed to do. And it can be done because you have the talent. I'm going to keep saying this. You have the talent. I think Doug never had this much talent. Now, we did end up winning a Super Bowl. But when you talk about young talent on the defense and on the offense side, now linebackers are trash. I give you that. He did have Jordan Hicks. The linebackers was good in 2017. I think they're not being used right. Also, when it comes to Jonathan Gannon, I would like to see more of a three safety set. You know what I mean? Instead of a 3 linebacker set. Kayvon Wallace, he's off IR. I'm not sure if he is eligible for this game, available for this game, should I say? And we finally brought up Jordan Howard. I've been asking for this since week one. And I think he's going to make a major contribution to your goal line and your third and one. Even if you want to go fourth and one, you're going to see it. If used right,
Gotta use them. Gotta call that play.
right,
Still gotta call the play.
right. If used right, you're going to see a major difference. We going into last game, we led the league in targets in the red zone. Targets, not points. And that's a problem. How do you lead the league in targets and not points? You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, you have the talent. Dudes do get open when you're scheming them right. Dudes will run the football when you're scheming them right or using them at all. Dudes will block better when they know. I seen Jalen Hurts under center that first drive a lot. He was under center. I want to say it was like an 8-play drive. He was under center like 5 of those plays. And
yeah, all of them.
It was run and pass out of it. I'm like, this looked like a whole nother team. After the first drive, you convert right back to shotgun. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh damn, that worked. Let me go to something that don't. I just don't understand his mindset when it comes to the situation of situational football. You come out, and Jalen Hurts definitely got to play better. He's not gonna he's not gonna not get any burn from me. So
I agree.
He has to play better. We do understand this is 12th start, 13th start. I think this coming now is like 13th start. I get it. I understand it. But I'm starting to see these fumble issues and him not reacting right when he does fumble. We had the one fumble in the end zone when he should have just kicked it out of balance instead of trying to pick it up. And I don't know what you was going to do after that. Get set instead of turning into a safety. It's going to be a touchdown or because you probably fumble again. I don't know. But he definitely has to play better. But I don't think he's being put in a position to be comfortable. He's never been put in the position Derek Carr was in last week when he played us, just to be comfortable sitting back, scanning the field, no pressure in his face. Because when you see your 4 guys not getting home, you don't send a 5th. I don't understand that. It's so many situational football that is so easy, a caveman can do it. Like literally, like a caveman can do these things, and you're not. Jonathan Gannon and Nick Siri is not getting it, and I don't understand it. Then you come into a situation to where as though now. I do agree because Ike Reese. I listened to Ike Reese on WIP. He said he was like Nick Siri. He said I basically let Jonathan Gannon do the defense and I worry about the offense. Yeah. Now here's what I can say. That's fine. You are a head coach and I get it, but he's a rookie too. See, the problem is no leadership. Is no guy that's experienced.
Except for Stoutland, but he's not really going to be given any rules.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he should though. Maybe he should be that guy. Listen.
I don't know why he just doesn't stay in the locker in whatever game plan they're doing, because he's involved in the run game, the pulling the blocks and all that. I don't understand why he says, "Hey guys, look, I know y'all running the show, and I'm just a veteran dude." Do you see how much success we have when we run the ball? Do you see what our offensive linemen want to do? You trust me to say, okay, Mulata's going to play right tackle under my thing. He's going to go back to left tackle. We're going to put Herb again. I'm making up this makeshift offensive line, and I'm telling you guys, we should run the ball. I mean, does he say that and get overridden? And that's where it's tough. But I mean, Stoutland, you know what I mean? I don't understand why Kelsey, either veterans on the team, veterans in the locker room, coaching staff, which is really only Stoutland. someone got to come up and say, bro, do you remember what we did to the Raiders that first drive? Do you remember some of the first down runs successfully we had? Do you remember that? It needs to be done. That needs to be spoken up. Unless it's being shut down from, the up above. But once you get into that kind of category, then it's like, no, why are we even talking about the games anymore? Because it's tough. Can't beat the top dog and ownership and stuff like that. It stinks. But Fresh, what is your take on the Lions defense, right? How they are against the run, against the pass. How do you think we can, if we, call more of a balanced player, even if we are pass happy, where would you like to attack the Lions on that defense?
I do know that they got a good corner. I can't remember his name.
Okuda's out. They have this
Oh,
young dude who has been actually stepping up pretty good. I forgot his name. What the Lions content creator told me about him, that when Okuda comes back, it's going to be a hard time for him getting that number one corner spot back, maybe the second. But they do have
man, he
two
that good?
young
He that
guys.
good? He playing that good?
He's playing pretty good. Well,
Okay.
Okuda, even though he was a first round pick, he was struggling.
Oh, I ain't know that. I did. I ain't know that. I ain't know he was struggling, but I do remember them picking him up. That's their first round pick, right?
Yeah, he was like a top 7 pick.
Yeah, yeah. So, damn. You just changed my insight on things. Um, run the damn ball. Run the ball, and can we please utilize the middle of the field? Can Dallas Goedert get some more touches? I think Nick Sirianni, what he tries to do is he tries to work from outside to go inside. And then once the outside don't work, he just like, all right, I'm just going to keep going outside so I can go inside. No, go inside to get outside. If y'all don't understand what I'm saying is, utilize the middle of the field. So run the ball. So you can probably get 8 men in the box. How many times,
There you go.
Mike, chat, have you seen 8 men in the box against us? Probably never. Because what for? They know we're not gonna run a freaking ball.
Only sometimes to look at Hurts if he's extra, dropping a spy in there or something along them lines, but nothing for the running backs, and barely.
And that's what I'm saying. When you look at it, when you look at the situation, he's trying to use the outside of the numbers too much to me. Once again, everything's down the field, down the field, down the field. Instead of in the first drive, you utilize the middle of the field. You use Dallas Goedert. You know what I mean? You use Miles Sanders. And to me, I know Miles Sanders is out, but you still got Gainwell. I think he's going to get a lot of touches this game. Probably going to start in my fantasy. But when you look at the situation, he is not attacking what needs to be attacked. But then you turn around and you look at your defense getting gashed by the things that you're not using. To me, Nick Sirianni want to talk about competition, but it seems like he's a checkers player, not a chess player. He don't know how to play chess. He don't know strategics. He don't know strategy. He doesn't know how to, and I understand he is a rookie head coach. I get it. But this is where we fall short because you don't have a veteran guy in that locker. You pick your own staff. That's cool. That's understandable. But you don't have no veteran guys really, and that's going to be a problem. And then the veterans on your team that got the C on their chest, some of them are speaking out. So now it's looking like you're losing a locker room. But what can change all that, and I don't care that it's the Lions, is a win. Is a win. You have to come into a situation and you have to understand that these guys, they're tired. They're tired of seeing the same things over and over and over again. They're tired of seeing you be insane. Nick Sirianni is insane. He is doing the same. And insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. He is doing the same thing, not running the football. But you did do it your first drive. I give him that. Not running the football, not utilizing the middle of the field. Keep only Quez Watkins is not getting enough touches. Using the screen, but not bubble screens. Once again, that's the middle of the field. So to me, man, I'm looking at the situation and he need to be better, bro. Like Nick Sirianni has to be better. For us to beat the Lions, we got to run the football. I definitely would use Jordan Howard a lot. First of all, he played against the Lions a lot in his career by playing with the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's a different team, but we're at Detroit, so I don't know if the fan base is they should travel probably, but it's probably going to be 50-50 fans because the Lions stink, and I don't think nobody's really going to those games like that.
This might be one they do because in Lion Nation, they had their calendar circle the last 2 weeks saying this could be our first win. Talking to some of them guys, they looking at us like we're sweet. And at this point, I don't see why they shouldn't, especially when they listen to us rag on our coaching staff, rightfully so. But looking at some of the things the Lions don't do well, before I tell you what they can do good against us. In the first 7 games, they have allowed 17 sacks. 17 sacks in 7 games. Their offensive line is better than it's been before, but they are beat up a little bit. So you got to attack that. Now, how do you get sacks when the middle of the field is wide open and you can't get Hargrave and Fletch and Barnett and Sweat to get that to quarterback in less than 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds, because the middle's wide open. Hopefully, Jonathan Gannon changes that up. I will say this. I hate Jonathan Gannon right now, to be honest, but he does show a different style of defense when he plays against the Sam Darnolds and the Jared Goffs of the world. Derek Carr shouldn't be categorized with the Dak Prescotts and Tom Brady's and Pat Mahomes, but the way he beat us up made him look like that. When you look at what their defense is against the pass, the Lions pass defenses have allowed almost 115 passer rating to quarterbacks, which is like last in the NFL, and they almost give up 10 yards per pass attempt, which is also last. So quarterbacks passer rating against the Lions have been good. Their yards per attempt have been high. You don't have to check down on the Lions, something that the Eagles do a lot with the bubble screens and throwing to the flats, whether a lot of it is Nick Sirianni and some of it is Jalen Hurts. We're going to have our 20-plus yard passing plays available if we attack the middle. The Lions give up chunk plays. Now, they do tighten up in the red zone, so I would like to see the ground game, whether it's Jordan Howard, whether it's Kenny Gainwell, whether it's Jalen Hurts. Once you get inside the 7-yard lines, 5-yard line, Jalen Hurts is deadly as a runner there. I'd rather see him run there than at our own 20. So I think you got to exploit Detroit for who they are. The young guy stepping up on the outside, he's stepping up, and being better than Jeff Okudah is not saying much because he's been really bad before he got hurt. So I still think the Lions secondary is inexperienced. I think they give up chunk plays. They're dead last in passer rating to the quarterback and yards per attempt. Take advantage there. Where I think the Lions is going to try to get us is running the ball against us. I do like their combination of Jamal Williams up the middle and DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift cooks in the passing game. They pretty much primarily use him in the passing game. Do you know who their best receiver is? Somebody named Khalif. Hold on. What was it? I just saw it when I was looking it up because what's it called told me. The guy who I did the Detroit Lions podcast with, he told me what his name was because I was like, who is even your top receiver? And he was like, it's a rookie. Somebody named, it's not the rookie they drafted. It's an undrafted guy, Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond, number 11. So what Jared Goff is going to do, he's going to throw it to TJ Hawkinson.
Raymond or Reynolds?
No, not Reynolds. Reynolds is I don't know where he's at, to be honest. I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
He used to play on the Rams, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so somebody named Khalif Raymond had 8 targets, 6 receptions for 115 yards against the Rams. Again, who is he? He's an undrafted guy. Their number one, the guy
Me
they
being a
drafted,
fantasy guy, I should know that. That's crazy. I
right?
ain't know that.
Maybe I could low if you needed a receiver from a bye week or injury. I mean,
Yeah.
6 catches, 115 yards last week. With
Ain't
that
bad.
being said, Goff wants to go to TJ Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift. He wants to check the ball down. But what do the Eagles defense allow you to do? Throw in the middle? Who's going to be there? Hawkinson. Throw to the flats? DeAndre Swift. Do we really think Alex Singleton is going to tackle DeAndre Swift in the open field? This is why a quarterback like Jared Goff could come out smelling like, do I
That's
dare
right.
say it? Flowers. He could come out smelling like roses because he's going to complete the easy dump offs that Jonathan Gannon sets up for a quarterback. And then when Jared Goff is feeling himself, he'll take a shot over the top to an unknown wide receiver. And that's how they'll beat us because quarterbacks don't stink against this defense. And that's the way I can really see the game going if Jonathan Gannon doesn't come out and say, how did I beat Matt Ryan? How did I fluster Jimmy G? How did I fluster Sam Darnold? They are all in the category of a Jared Goff. Attack this man. Do not let him just dink and dunk, or we're in for a big problem. Jamal Williams is out today. All right, well, that's good. They don't got the thunder to the lightning. Still, lightning still hurts.
Speaking of being out, Eric Wilson, healthy scratch. I ain't got no problem with it, but this leads into my next question, for the chat and for also you, Mike. If the Eagles lose this game, and I'm gonna say yes. No, that they lose the game. I'm talking about to the question. I'm gonna say yes. If the Eagles lose this game, are you trading? Are you sellers?
I'm sellers either or if it's the right sell. If it's the right sell. I did a video.
I mean just all out, just start getting rid of all the older guys. Not all of them, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I'm Miles Sanders, I'm asking to go.
Can you trade him though with him being injured? He can't now.
No, you can't. You can't. Is he on IR though? No, he's still playing pass up. No,
they did. I think they did just put him on IR. I think they put Sanders on IR and took Kevon Wallace off.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
Because that's what happened with Zach Ertz that one year. Remember, we were kind of talking about trading him, and he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt right then.
Yeah, last year. So Fletcher Cox, I would trade him. Sorry, y'all. Fletcher Cox, I would trade him. You got to look at Ronnie McLeod's record situation, not record, but you got to look at how much money he's getting paid. I probably would try to trade him.
He's playing peekaboo.
Try to get rid of Andre Dillard. I mean, I'm trying to get as much picks as I can because if you lose to the Lions, it's nothing but the future. It's no now. It's no now. I'm sorry. It's no now. Everything is the future. You cannot lose to the Detroit Lions. And it's crazy that we got to have this conversation about it, but it's realistic. That can happen. Now, I'm not saying it will, and I'm always going to pick the Eagles. But we could be sitting here watching the game, and we see the play calling, and we see the defense in shambles again, and a quarterback that is, let's not try to act like he's not a number one overall pick. We can see him getting he has those kind of games to where as though he get into a groove. Like when you talk about quarterbacks, Jared Goff is an accurate quarterback. He's like a Sam Bradford type when he has the pocket. He really does. So if you let this guy get comfortable like Derek Carr got comfortable last week, we can be in trouble. You got to send some pressure, man. If 4 ain't getting there, you got to send 5. Go ahead.
Hey, go ahead, Gate. If your camera stops playing peekaboo, we can let you jump
what
up
the
in
hell
here and
was
say,
going
"What's up,
on
my
with
man?"
that joint?
No,
Bro,
That joint,
the crazy thing is I went and got a ring light so that way y'all could see me clear in this space where I'm filming and while I'm getting the studio ready again. And the camera doesn't like the ring light, so it keeps triggering the camera to shut off. I'm like, yo, this is nuts, man.
but
that's
once you
Nuts. I
started
didn't want y'all
talking,
to still keep claiming I was a witness protection. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right. My man was in the dark though. He just talking from the shadows.
Yeah, it's still doing it, bro. It does not like this setup at all, bro.
but it seemed like when you talking, it don't do it. Once you stop talking, it start flickering again.
Yeah, I
There you
can't
go.
go for no hour straight talking, now, bro. I'm not Mike, bro. I can't do that play by play.
But go ahead,
Well,
Gate.
since
So,
you late, you ain't got that much time anyway.
all right, so Gate. Overall, like give me some of the things that you think we could do against this Lions team, looking at how they match up and what they can do to us, and just the general consensus of this game and what it really means to you and the Eagles.
So, I mean, the obvious here is that they're really struggling to put out defensive backs out there. I mean, I would say that despite the temptation, and I know there's going to be temptation on the part of Nick Sirianni with Miles Sanders down, with the front office that, I mean, let's be real. I see the comments where people say like, "Oh, he's a puppet," and it's like, nah, man, you guys got to understand the way things work. It doesn't matter who you are, Bill Belichick, no matter what, you got to boss above. It's just the reality of things. Like, I feel like that they came into this season, despite what they told us in the media, through the media and what they were saying in press conferences, that they clearly had a completely different direction than what they were selling to the public. And I think they came in with a checklist of things they wanted to see and they wanted to do. And I think some of those things conflict with, from a weekly performance standpoint to evaluating the team and seeing if the team in general, not just individual players, are where you want them to be. So, I mean, it's just ugly to watch right now, in my opinion. And, trying to attack, this Detroit team, like the easy answer here is run the football. Like, that's the easiest answer here is that you got Jordan Howard still, run the football. I'm not asking for 25, 30 carries, but 15, 20, somewhere in that range to keep defenses honest. You can't do certain things. Like, I thought Trey Thomas did a really good job explaining, from a lineman in a defensive situation, the way that RPOs become really easy to pick up. And basically what he said is that, from Hurts' standpoint, we're trying to grade him on how well he can read defenses. But what defenses are doing is they're giving him a look stacking the box, or they're giving him the open look, the inverse. He'll take the snap and then they immediately go post snap into a different look on him. And because you have an RPO called up, it's all pretty much done pre-snap and directly after reads. So the wheels are already in motion for the play. And they shut it down after the first week or so of that, once teams really saw what we were trying to do. So to me, you got to start running more traditional based offense against this Detroit line off your defense. You got to, I'm not saying you got to necessarily put him under center. I don't know that.
That first drive was magnificent.
Right, but look at the first game. But you can say, RPOs look great the first game. Teams will adjust. You know what I'm saying? If you show them something too long, they're going to adjust to you.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like to see it one more drive to see how they adjust before we pulled ourselves up out of it?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's things you can do, but you got to understand too, from a footwork perspective, teams aren't dumb. Like, they know when you get under center, they want I think putting him under center says more about your running back situation than it does the quarterback situation. Because what you're doing is you're allowing your running back not to be so predictable, because if you're offset to the left or offset to the right, defenses can generally cue in on which side the running play is going to go to. But if you're under center and you're directly behind the quarterback, the possibilities are more open. I mean, that's just honestly like what happens when you put a quarterback under center with a running back. Mike, and Reese, to your points, would it be a good idea to go under center a handful of snaps this game when you got a guy like Jordan Howard? Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's in balance. It's a matter of balance. Yeah. Like, if you go too far to an extreme on any end of things, unless you have like a player who's just got so many years in the league, it doesn't matter what you call, he'll find the weakness in the defense and he's going to pick it apart. You know what I'm saying? True. Like, it can get you. And let's be honest. people want to talk about how great Brady is. Brady did not look that great late in New England when he did not have the personnel around him. That's just the facts. He didn't look like the same guy anymore.
True.
Then you go get him top-notch offensive, talent around him, personnel, and Brady looks like the GOAT again. Like, personnel matters, man, and we have to develop personnel. I think that is the larger issue here, is that this coaching staff was hired on the premise that Howie Roseman is not as bad at talent evaluation as people think, and the coaches failed to develop players. Well, new coaching staff that's supposed to be focused in on developing players, and we got a major development problem here. We're not developing players at what we thought we would see at this point.
So what we're saying is maybe Howie's not only wrong at evaluating talent, he's also wrong at evaluating the guys who can help us evaluate talent.
It's tough because I think Howie's compounding the problem. And I'm not saying like I'm not on the board of this train to fire anybody yet. I mean, you got to let things play out. But when you judge the coaching staff, when you judge the quarterback play, when you judge the skill position receivers, we also, like I said in the video, you got to take into account where all these guys are coming from. They're coming from, Big 12 spread offenses. They're coming from small schools that run spread offenses. They're coming from non-traditional offenses. They're all clumped up together. And now you have this massive developmental task in front of you. Some of that is on the guy that's evaluating the talent, not balancing the decisions between big and small school players. Guys that run more traditional offenses versus the more college spread offense stuff, which, to be fair, most of college football is going more towards the spread offense. Like, it won't be long. I mean, even Alabama sent Nick Saban sent people down in like 2008, 2009 down to West Virginia to watch what Rich Rodriguez was doing. Because Rich Rodriguez is the person who really accelerated all this. So, I mean, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, to some extent, it's everything compounding together, right? Like, you can't just say, oh, the quarterback can't read defenses. There's probably part of that statement that's true, that he's probably not that nuanced at this point in his career at reading coverage. We can't say, oh, well, the offensive coordinator and the head coach can't call plays. Yeah, there's probably some elements of truth to that, right? But we also got to consider the fact that the head coach and the quarterback are also working with skill position players for the large part that also come from RPO offenses just a year or two ago. So there's a lot of development that has to be done. And it's a big problem. Like, it's not like this one little thing you can just adjust and fix outside of running the football. That is the one thing that could easily start to solve some of the issues. It's just, let's simplify it. Let's just run it and then slowly progress these guys along into traditional sets and offenses while still mixing in the RPOs and the college spread stuff.
And so what's stopping them from doing that, right? Like, if, let's be honest, if that's seeable, to the non-knowledge, to the guy who just watches football once in a while, to the guy like you who can definitely break it down. But if the run game is that important and that seeable, and you got a guy, your longest member on the staff is Jeff Stoutland, who not only is the offensive line coach, which is a big staple of how you run the ball, but he was also involved many years in the actual run designs and the concepts on which how we run it and stuff. Why not lean on the biggest strength coaching wise and the biggest strength of this team, when healthy? And we can say that we're beat up now. But let's be honest, even the Atlanta Falcons game, right? The bulk of them runs came when we had the big lead. Like, we still built the lead on the passing game, and it hasn't showed that we are trying to run the ball. Now, when I look at this Lions defense, and let me know, guys, if you agree, they can be had on both sides when it comes to running and passing, but they do have the inexperience at corner, even though one of them, I think he's an undrafted free agent, was playing well. But, they're allowing quarterbacks to have the highest passer rating against them, and they're averaging the most yards per attempt. This is a game where I think Nick Sirianni can circle, passing the ball and feel like it's justified. What is your take on that?
Get it to the guys that you can trust, right? Like, it's too late for Miles Sanders now because it's looking like we're going to miss him for quite a few weeks now because they put him on IR. But
how many weeks is that at the minimum? 3?
I think it's 3 weeks, depending on the designation they give them, because there's separate designations even within IR. But yes, it can be as light as 3 weeks, but my guess is it'll probably be a little more than 3 weeks, probably. with that said, you got to put the ball in the hands of the guys that are going to be where you expect them to be while bringing the other guys along. Like, to me, I got Jordan Howard, who's a vet in this league. Okay. I don't know where that shoulder's at. I still think he's day to day from 2019. That's what my sources tell me. But I mean,
Could you
gotta
imagine
get
if
in
he
the
breaks
hands of-
100 yards?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna come out and
His
look like a
first-
stud today. We're all gonna look dumb, but still.
We're all gonna look.
Yeah. But I mean, like Dallas Goedert and Jordan Howard and Devontae Smith, you got to get it into the hands of the guys that came from a more traditional offense or have been in the league long enough to understand traditional offenses. And then you mix in the big splash plays to a Quez Watkins. You let Rager maybe do some stuff out of the backfield and on some crossing routes, trying to break free with his pure athleticism. But they shouldn't be the focus. You shouldn't be trying to make game plans to encompass them. They're just kind of additional guys. To me, if I'm walking in here, give me Gainwell, give me my running backs. Give me Gainwell, give me Boston Scott, give me Jordan Howard, then give me my tight end that is about to be one of the highest paid tight ends in the league. Let's get that guy, maybe he should be a focal point of the offense. Let's just be real. And then give me the guy that we spent a top 10 pick on. Those are the guys that the offense needs to be built around. Like, is to me, if you're doing anything but that, then I'd like to have a conversation with Nick so I can just look him in his face and say, hey, man, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's where the offense has to be.
Yep.
Fresh.
Fresh.
I said the same thing. You're not utilizing the middle of the field, and that starts with your running back and also your tight end. Dallas Goedert can be dominant, as we see when he gets the football. But if he doesn't get the football, you can't do nothing. And Devontae Smith definitely needs to be featured more. Quez Watkins also. I understand Rager was first round pick, but I'm tired of it only being 1 week that Quez Watkins has more snaps than her. Quez Watkins is just a better player.
We won that game too, just to throw it out there. Carolina, right? I mean, it wasn't a pretty win, but we did win that game.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
yeah,
I don't think they're doing it as much now because a lot of the older guys are gone. But I don't care where they're drafted. I don't care how much they're getting paid. If they're not playing better, they shouldn't play over a guy that's playing better than them. And that's the situation that is looking like, because now it's not abundantly clear like Rager is getting way more snaps than Quez Watkins, but he is getting more, and that's less opportunity. Quez Watkins can do something for you if he's not on the field. So when you look at the situation going into this game, those things has to be adjusted. And Gates, I get what you're saying. People adjust, but that first drive, like Mike, you said it, that first drive, why'd you go to anything different? I understand Miles Sanders got hurt. You still got another running back. You still could have.
He got hurt on the third series too, so it's not even like they could say,
Right. So you come into a situation to where as though your first 15 scripted plays, magnifico. So why change until they change? Don't change yourself. Don't change yourself until they make you change. Then you make adjustments. So you mean to tell me you don't want to make adjustments when things are going wrong, but then when they're going right, you make adjustments? To me, that's funny to me, man. It makes no sense. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And then when you look at the defense side of the ball, once again, we talked about it. Gates, you being Gates, Steve, you being a quarterback, would you have loved to have been Derek Carr last week? To go 90.
Yeah, that was the softest zone I ever saw in my life.
To go 91.2
yeah.
second in NFL history. Like, when you look at that situation, it's like, to me, those things are embarrassing. And I'm regurgitating what I said earlier because Gates, you wasn't on a lot. To me, I get it. Nick Sirianni, he's a head coach. He's going to make mistakes. Doug did the same thing. But is nobody on the team other than the offensive line coach that's really got experience. So it's nobody to really turn to. You got captains on your football team that's speaking out, saying that he doesn't get paid to stop screens and yada, yada, yada. So you got all this stuff going on. And Nick, I think right now, the water's above his head. And he's trying to swim up there. But, man, somebody's pulling his leg down, so it was hard for him to get air.
He's drowning.
Exactly. He's drowning. It's too much too soon for him.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on, and it's probably more going on inside the locker room. Not only are you losing, you're losing the fan base, and it seems like you might be losing the locker room. Coaches might not. Coaches has probably got some murmurs behind your back. Oh man, I could have did a better job than they out here. You know, stuff like that. So winning helps everything. And I think today you should have a dominant win. I understand, Fresh, we only got 2 win, yada yada. I don't care. If you come out and make adjustments when you need to, you should be able to, you know, I do understand that the Lions, they do fight. And that's the problem that I think our team doesn't do. Until the fourth quarter, when everything is in shambles. And now we, like a chicken with a head cut off, and a lot of teams is playing cover 2. They're playing prevent. And now Jalen Hurts will just run around the field and stat his numbers. So when you look at the situation, man, I don't like the way that Nick Sirianni has no fight in this team. That's all I know.
Yeah, I mean, we went from dog mentality to growing the roots. And of course, I understood what he said. I understand he was trying to say build a foundation. He was trying to, you know what I mean? But you could talk about building a house.
Yeah.
You could talk about Rome wasn't built. I mean, that's what Jalen Hurts goes to as his go-to saying. Rome wasn't built in a day. We are laying down the foundation. But, you know,
could have gone with an oak
actually – yeah, there's so many other ones. And listen, I'm not anti-flowers, bro. My wife bought me flowers. I said, thank you. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. With that being said, it was the way it went. I think, you know, I do this sometimes too, right? They asked this man a question, and instead of giving the 11-word answer, he gives the 27-word answer that could have been done in 11 words. But when he really went as far as say, yes, I brought a picture of a flower and I stood there holding the flower and I said this, like, you didn't need to bring the visual, right? Like, there's too much visual, whether it's on your visor, whether it's on your t-shirts, it's just too much visual. You know, sometimes it makes me feel like, bro, I can learn it if you just tell me about the flower. You don't got to show me this man holding the flower, talking about foundation. It just threw me off. And, you can't do that because what are you doing? I mean, like we got the Lions coming up and they're talking about biting off kneecaps and we're talking about watering and fertilizing, right? They don't care about our flowers if they're biting off kneecaps. So all I'm saying is we got to go into this game and we just can't be food for the Lions. This season is over, most likely, you know. I'm not going to say that we could turn it around because there's nothing I've seen. There's not anything rhyme, rhythm, or like, you know what, we could build off this or let's tweak this. We need to tweak everything, you know, from some players to the staff to the game plan. All has to be tweaked. So I can't build off of anything. However, if the Lions only win one game in the season and it comes back to being who did the Lions beat again? Oh yeah, Philly. It's not good. And the top 5 pick will be lovely. However, you know, you don't want to start living in the top 5. The Giants been there for a long time. The Jets been there for a long time. And they've been drafting top 5 talent, right? They don't look any better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's this too. You draft the top 5 talent and that guy's waiting to 5 years later, he's waiting to bullet out of there to a team that's playing. So I still rather have culture in my locker room. But I just can't preach culture and winning when I haven't seen a winning formula. I just got something got to give. And if it's not against the Lions, I don't know how you can look. I don't know how you can look at the Jets or the Giants or any game and feel confident. It's always going to be a coin flip. We'll be underdogs the rest of the season if we lose this game. Your take, Gate?
First off, let me just shout out my nephew here. Andrew Lee, what's up, buddy? I appreciate you watching, little guy. Yeah, Mike. I mean, look, number one, I don't go into this game overly confident that we're going to win it because we should. This team, this team is beat up. Like you should be able to take advantage of this team. Our defense should come out with some type of intensity, with some sort of adjustments after being called out by players. There should be some adjustments going on from the defensive coordinator. I expect this defense to look a lot better today. And if it doesn't, man, it's going to get real dark the next couple of weeks in Philly because people are not going to hold back their shots. They're going to take shots out. From Nick Sirianni's standpoint, you know, the worst thing that can happen for Nick Sirianni, and no one's talking about this. The worst thing that happens for Nick Sirianni is Jalen Hurts getting benched. Because if you bench Jalen Hurts, you're no longer evaluating Jalen Hurts. You're evaluating Nick Sirianni. That's
Correct.
the truth. That's the honest to God truth. That's the way that works. Like now, maybe he would shine in that situation. I definitely think Jalen has missed throws that could have extended drives at times. But I can't sit here with a straight look on my face and say that the same things that we said about Carson, we were trying to say, you know, look, Carson's not playing well, but there's a whole lot more around Carson going on than what's being talked about. It's kind of the same thing with Jalen Hurts. He's not playing well. He's absolutely missing throws that need to be completed. He's missing the mark on them. But you know what? At the same time, some guys are getting their hands on footballs and they're not securing the catch, whether it's a well-placed ball or not. They're not making catches they need to make. And at the same time, just look at the way the receivers are struggling to get off. Look at the way that they cannot set up defensive backs. This happened in San Francisco, guys, where we had a beat-up secondary where they went back and signed a guy that was probably 2 years past when he should have already hung it up in football. And you know what? They took advantage of us. We couldn't win those outside battles. This game has a lot of those same weird feelings to me, except for this one little fact I can hang my hat on. I think Detroit has a very good pass rush. Actually, I think it's underrated, but I don't think they're like a stout defensive like middle. Like I don't think that they're gonna, you know, the way that San Francisco had Warner who could really run fast and he could really get sideline to sideline. They have a really good defensive line that could actually push and hold the offensive line. I don't see that same thing from Detroit's defense. So the result should be better than what we got at home versus San Francisco, even though we're on the road. But I don't know, man. I don't have a ton of faith thinking that a team that's beat us 3 straight times, that's beat us when we've been way better than they've been. Twice, the last 2 times they beat us, really, we had the better football team. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic that this team should come out of here with a win. But there's no way I would ever put money on it.
Yeah, me either. I definitely stood away from that on my parlay, and I've been losing some money. I've been doing different parlays, but I've been stay away from the Eagles. What? But real quick, we got 249 people watching. We are live on 3 channels: the Philly Talk Podcast, which is my channel, Philly Fresh's channel, and Gate City Sports channel. Gate City Sports channel. I couldn't say it. I was trying to think if there was a talk on it or not. I don't know. Anyways, definitely hit that like button wherever you're watching it. It goes a long way for the channel. It's good juju for the Eagles, whatever you want to call it. It definitely helps out and it's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. A like goes a long way. We about to talk a little bit more. We're at the 54-minute mark. We're going to go maybe an hour and 5 so we can do our little rituals and prepare for this game because, listen, flowers might come out for the Eagles' funeral if we lose this. There's flowers at funerals, and that's what we'll be talking about if we really allow the Detroit Lions to beat us. It is in Detroit. You know, can we hold our hats on the Eagles are better, I guess, on the road though thus far this season? It's not really telling because some of our home opponents have been better. But, you know, both our wins came on the road in ATL, in Carolina. Gate City was at 1. So I'd feel better if Gate City was in Detroit right now. You know what I mean? Getting ready for the game. I at least have some better feeling about this game winning. But yeah, if yous had to say what the Eagles are going to rely on in this game more? Just overall,
he got you frustrated, Mike.
they do. What is going to shine? We're going to go to our players and stuff, right? But what is going to shine this game? Is the offense or the defense going to shine? If you just had to say general, that group takes over this game and helps us get a win. Before we get into the individual defense and offensive players that are going to step up in the score prediction, what plays better on the road in Detroit? Offense or defense? Go ahead, Fresh.
He says special teams.
He's like, special teams. Give my guys to go.
Our punter, who has been the best, who has been the most consistent player on the team.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, but in all in all seriousness, our punter. No. All right. Let me stop. I'm gonna have to go with offense. I do think the offense was better than the defense last week, even though I didn't like neither one for real. But I did think the offense was better. And to me, you got to punch them in the mouth because, like I said at the beginning, they ain't got nothing to lose. So they're going to come out here, punch you in the mouth, and, or try to punch you in the mouth. And they're going to do trick plays, onside kicks. We've seen it last week. Against the Rams. So to me, you have to keep your eyes and ears open. But I'm gonna say the offense holds this one down.
Go ahead, Gate.
I'm gonna say, look, man, I'm hoping for an all three phases game here. I mean, hoping.
Yeah.
Hope's a big word here. I'm gonna say realistically, I expect the defense to respond. I really do, because my God, if they don't respond, Mike, I don't know what you do, man. If the defense doesn't respond in this game, tell me the bright side going forward when some of these dudes clearly will not be on the team in 2022, who are more of the known commodities. What is the bright side with the guys behind them? Like, I need to pick me up from the defense big time, because I need to see Davion Taylor start to get it a little bit, right? I mean, he looked okay early on in camp from what we could see. I mean, we can't really see all the footage from camp, unfortunately. But Davion Taylor's a third-round pick, right? He's a guy that was very raw, but very athletic, very skilled. We knew that he had the physical traits to make it in the NFL. It's just a matter of, could he pick the game up? And then, you look at a guy like Kayvon Wallace that we spent a fourth-round pick on just a year ago. Another young man that I thought was having a fairly decent season before he got injured. Guy that I think we really need to incorporate back into this defense. Then I look at Milton Williams. We just spent a third-round pick on him. For the love of God, play that man as a 5 technique. Let him hold up the edge and shut that stuff down. Give this man some more reps, because we really do need to evaluate this young talent. And then allow him to play that Brandon Graham role. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. On third and longs, where you can bounce him inside and use his athleticism to hopefully beat a guy that doesn't have the athletic ability to keep up with him on a pass rush. I look past that, guys, and it's like, we spent a fourth-round pick on a corner who's playing special teams. And Zach McPherson. I mean, some of these young guys, when are we going to see them? Like, I don't know.
I mean, you might see a little bit more Taylor. I think I know Harris is inactive, and so is Wilson, but I don't think nothing's wrong with Wilson. I think he's a healthy scratch. And
means he's bums.
Y'all know how I feel about Eric Wilson, so I don't give a damn. So to me, that's probably saying that they needed that spot for Kayvon Wallace to bring him up. And I was saying this, I said this earlier. Steve, you wasn't here. To me, we don't have the linebackers talent to run 3 linebacker sets. It needs to be 3. It needs to be more 3 safety sets. I think that's where it's more talent there when you look at the situation and the speed, and also helping stop the run. Our linebackers and Singleton is not getting the job done. I I would like to see more of Bradley, and I would like to see more of Taylor. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they don't blitz Avery. He's very, very good at that.
Yeah.
Blitz the young man. The young man can get at the quarterback.
I mean, he went from defensive end to linebacker to defensive end to linebacker. Definitely. Real quick, shout out to Joey Z with the $5 super chat. If Hurts has a bad game today, I'm all in on putting Minshew in. I want to see a different type of quarterback in the offense to evaluate our head gardener, right? Definitely. That's what Gate City said earlier in this game. I think benching Jalen Hurts takes the scapegoat part out of Jalen Hurts. And if you see the same blunders, the same excuses being made for Garner, well, no matter what we say, I don't think Garner's a great quarterback, a good quarterback, but he has a different skill set than Jalen Hurts. He does. So a head coach failing with one quarterback, you can blame it on the quarterback. A head coach failing with two quarterbacks, it starts to look at the head coach more, even though I can already see some of the things. Like Gates said, there's things that Jalen got to be better at. But who's in this coaching staff getting them better, and who in this coaching staff is putting them in the right situations? We just hit 1 hour. It's 12:20. Shout out to everybody. Still got 252 people in here. We are live on 3 channels. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way. Let's go. Let's get this offense and defensive player of the game today in Detroit and get this score prediction, man. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I'm gonna go left field. You made me go first.
I'm gonna go first. I tried to go left field last week, and that did not work out in my favor when I picked Jordan Mailata. He was not good.
Oh yeah, that was probably he was getting beat.
Yeah, he was getting beat like an African drum. That was crazy. So I'm gonna go more conventional. I'm gonna go with Gainwell. I think Gainwell has a big game. I think they utilize him more. Because when you look at it, his snaps has been going down as we've been losing. Like he got a lot. He got like 11 touches in the game against Atlanta. Got like 11, probably more than that. And we ended up winning. I think Gainwell is kind of the X factor. He kind of the guy that you can put in the slot outside and run the ball. Now he has to hold on to that football. Seen a fumble last week, even though I thought he was down, but it is what it is. So the situation is for defense, man, oh man. I gotta go. I need a Josh Sweat sighting. I do. Like he disappeared from me. He's on the milk carton. He's MIA. All those things. I need a sighting from Josh Sweat, and I need a dominant win. So I'm gonna go 28-14 Eagles.
Oof.
I got to.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad. He got Kenny G as his offensive player. Josh Sweat, a guy he's been on way before they even the extension. Gate, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go. So I won't go left field since Reese decided to go first. So it takes a little pressure off there. I'm going to say Dallas Goedert offensively, man. And I don't even think it's going to be like a big day necessarily, like where he's going to have 100 yards receiving or anything like that. I just think it's going to be an all-around game for him where he's going to have to get nasty in pass pro. He's going to get nasty in run pro. He's going to have to catch a few and really work the middle of the field to really bring kind of an edge to this offense to show that we're not a soft team. Like we do have guys out here that can actually push back because I really think that's needed from this team. It's too finesse right now. Defensively, I got to go with my guy returning back to Detroit. Although the coaching staff that, Patricia and the guys that he really had a problem with aren't there anymore, I think they're going to lay a lot on Darius Slay's table today. I think this could be a big game for Darius Slay because, first off, Detroit, they don't really have groundbreaking receivers out there. So
no.
I think this is a game where Slay could really be a disruptor.
There we go. Score prediction.
Score prediction. Look, my gut tells me to pick a big blowout here. I ain't listening to it today. He's not doing it. My gut keeps trying to say like 35-3 Philly. Like, nah. I'm going to say, look, Detroit has given us so many problems in the past. I'm going to say 24-21, Jake Elliott, 44-yard winning field goal.
Had me on the edge of my seat again.
Yeah,
they beat us what, the last 7 times or something?
Something ridiculous. I think it's like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
I think it's more than that.
Rough. Shout out to Jalen Williams with the $5 super chat. He said context to why 68 struggled last week is because the cross chop isn't a common move all pass rushers have, and it works because 68 leans on his heavy punch. So that counter, right? So Jordan Mailata tries to get a quick strike in there, cross chop. See ya. I'm at Jalen. Makes sense. He was getting work though, and it does. Now that I'm reading this, it reminds me of kind of how like he would feel like he was getting chopped and pulled in, and he was just losing quickly against whoever he was going against, Ngakoue, for most of the time, I believe. But shout out to Jalen Williams. Look, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, look, I gotta speak this into existence. Jordan Howard, the dude gets called up. No respect since 2019. Dolphins don't love him. Doug Peterson don't love him. Nick Sirianni don't love him. He gets called up because of an injury. He's not going to get the ball early. Second quarter, he's going to get the ball, and he's going to rip off a 15-piece. And he's going to truck somebody. And he's going to get up. He's going to feel it. And Nick Sirianni is going to leave him in. Jordan Howard going to have a good game. A touchdown. Flipping it over to the defensive side of the ball. I like the big play Slay call. I like the Josh Sweat call. So I'm going to have to go to another Detroit guy. He didn't play there, but, you know, he has a tattoo of a lion on him, and that's how he met Slay earlier. I'm going to go with Avonte Maddox, probably one of the guys who's been showing up most consistently in our secondary. Got a pick last week, stopped the bleeding, because at one time, the only incompletion Derek Carr had was to Avonte Maddox. Ridiculous. So I wanted to touch on the defensive line because 17 sacks allowed in 7 games. I think we got to get at Jared Goff. He's not a good quarterback, but if the middle of the field's open, your boy Philly Mike can complete, 60% of my passes against the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I didn't get the answer, the offense or defense question. Fresh went offense stepping up. Gate went defense stepping up. Overall, I think more pressure's on our defense just because of how bad the scheme has been, how quarterbacks have been looking against us. In 65 years, we allowed 65 years, we allowed 8 quarterbacks to go over 80%. 65 years of football. 8 quarterbacks went over 80%. 4 quarterbacks already went over 80% this season. Just this season. You're talking about the life of the Eagles.
And 1 over 90.
And 1 over 90. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I definitely want to see a defense step up. And we've been able to see them, attack some of the lower tiered quarterbacks. But with that being said, it's 12-28. You guys got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Hey,
my score prediction.
Hey, Red Wolf Mafia. He's trying to get at you fresh. He wants to know where you can get Philly Fresh merch.
Oh, the link is in the description, man. All you gotta do is go to the description, put that little arrow, take you right to the link. You know what I mean? You order it, come right to you, man. Shout out to Print Champs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tay Gowan is playing today. Hopefully, we'll see who gets in. I mean, he's probably lower on the depth chart. You don't want him to get in for an injury to Slay or Nelson, but maybe he gets in on some dime packages if we even created them, because you already heard what Gannon said about the dime packages. With that being said, shout out to everybody who came through. We still got 254 people in the building. Wherever you're watching it, hit the like button. It goes a long way. The like button helps out tremendously. It's free. It's easy. Don't cost a thing. And check out the other members' channels. Philly Fresh right here, Gate City Sports Channel, and the Philly Talk Podcast. Watch a video. Hit subscribe. Win or lose, we're going to talk about it, because the Eagles never go away. Good, bad, ugly, sad. 23-20. Field goal.
Y'all keep trying to have me on the edge of my seat, man, every time. But I get it. I understand. I get it.
You're like, it's the Lions. I'm like, we're the Eagles.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's bad.
Hey, that shit sucks. And they'll be like, yo, we're playing the Lions. Well, we're the Eagles. It's like
Lions, Eagles, and Bears. Oh my.
Lions and Eagles and
Oh,
Bears.
oh my, we stink.
23-20. Shout out to everybody. But listen, I will be going live for the game. So if you do like to come through and chop it up, and some people don't even know I go live. A couple people came in last week and said, how long you been doing this? I said, forever. They don't even look at YouTube when the game's going on. But look, the only thing good about that is we get to cry together. That's pretty much it. Until next time, though, y'all know what time it is. Win or lose, this is the week. We can't be Lions food. We out.
Later.
Yo, that.
Peace.